Oakland Roots family, if you're still enjoying food and drink out on East 10th Street, make sure you leave your Oakland Stadium. Kickoff is just under 10 minutes away. Once again, if you're out on East 10th Street, please make your way to your seats. Kickoff is just under 10 minutes away.
How do you best describe Oakland, California? Well, look no further than its soccer club. Oakland Roots prides itself on uniting a city where culture, human rights movements, and the arts mosaically assemble. It's a club built for the town, and tonight they finally return home to Laney College, where their roots run deep. But it won't come without a challenge. Phoenix Rising arrives in Oaktown in some of its best form of the season. The goals, as they normally do, have been flowing for the top attack in the league. But where this team wants to rise to is no secret. Led by the MVP, the ambitions are clear. Could this be another step in that direction? It's the town versus the valley, and it's next. The USL on ESPN brings us to Oakland, California, Laney College Field, as Oakland Roots are finally back at home as they play host to Phoenix Rising FC. A look at the Pacific Division standings, and this is a big game for Oakland Roots. They come in 8th spot, last place in these Pacific Division standings, and they welcome in Phoenix Rising, who has had a great start to this season in top spot. And with that, we welcome you in. Glad to be with you tonight with Devin Kerr. I'm Josh Eastern. And just like we said, Oakland Roots back at home. This is a big night to be at Laney College.
Culture, commitment, community. Josh, these are words that are commonly used to describe Oakland Roots and their success off the field. Now they finally have a home to call their own, to turn their season around and find success on the field. The problem is they've run into the buzzsaw that is the big bad wolf we've come to know as Phoenix Rising in the Western Conference, once again leading the charge for a title.
And they, of course, led by Solomon Asante, the back-to-back MVP in the USL Championship. And he has had double-digit goals and assists the last 2 seasons.
He's a nightmare, and in a good way. For Phoenix Rising, recognizing that if not for a shortened season in 2020, could have done it 3 seasons running. Now, 8 goals, 6 assists, a possible 4th. But Phoenix Rising is not to be undone on the defensive side of the ball, Josh. Statistically leading the categories offensively, following suit, led by James Musa and Joey Farrell on the back line. 2-way this year for Phoenix Rising and Rick Shantz. So let's talk about one of those 2-way players, and Kevin Lambert, who does not get enough credit in the middle of the field, and let's go ahead of the curve. And why are we talking about him? It's a 2-way player, but it's much more than that, because he's not covering 1 player, or 2, or 3, or the space behind. He's encompassing all of that in one defensive movement. 1-0 victory against San Diego Loyal. Watch this. Doesn't let the lines break on either side. Knows exactly when to pounce. High IQ here from Kev Lambert, but he doesn't stop. Breaks the other direction. Stretches this thing 70 yards to open up the back line. No, they don't connect. They get a half chance on the back side of it. Kevin Lambert, unsung hero, but appreciated from within.
And on the other side for Oakland Roots, a club founded July 2018, so synonymous with this city. They played in Nice the last 2 years, finished 2nd in the fall championship. Their first USL championship signing, Salim Muhammad, coming over from New Mexico United, and Jordan Farrell, he is at the helm of this club. He is trying to get this team going in the right direction. And might they turn to a very experienced player in this league, Brandon Allen?
The answer is most assuredly yes. 53 goals through 6 seasons so far, and we are within that 6th season right now. Remember, 21 goals in the 2016 championship season for New York Red Bull 2. Trying to attain that form. He's found a home here under our Oakland roots. Chuy Enriquez will sit underneath him. He will be the distributing factor for this offense moving forward. Great wing play at Weir and Fissore. The question is the outside backs. How high do they allow them to get into the attack? With the wingers of Salomon Asante and Santimo are pushing the tempo so much. Clementa and Tarek Morad heads on a swivel with all the movement that come for Phoenix Rising. David Egbo will step in for Rufat Dadashov, John Baccaro into the midfield for Rodriguez, and the third change is the swivel and seesaw that we know at goalkeeper all season long. Andre Rawls in, Ben Lute, a formidable backup on the bench, and the back line can absolutely fly with Tate Schmidt and Darnell King when need be.
Well, a big night for Oakland Roots back home at Laney College, but will Phoenix Rising spoil the party tonight in Oakland? We are ready to go. Kickoff is coming up next. We are back at Laney College Field here in Oakland, California. Oakland Roots and Phoenix Rising, the USL on ESPN. We are just about set to go. A big night here in Oakland with the Roots returning to where they know where their roots are, right here at Laney College. As you can see, it'll be Oakland in all black tonight and Phoenix in all red. It's a brisk night here in Oakland, California. 63 degrees. It's almost 50 degrees warmer right now in Phoenix, Arizona. Tonight's referee is Ricardo Fierro. Once we hear his whistle, we can get things underway. Making sure all numbers are accounted for. It's Oakland Roots, it's Phoenix Rising. We are underway. So great to be back at Laney College here in the heart of Oakland, California. It'll be a throw and going Phoenix Rising's way. Well, the Roots finally back here for the first time in 515 days when they played the Michigan Stars in Nice to open the 2020 season. And the reason this is the first game was due to shipping delays with the playing surface, meaning they have had to play a handful of games at Las Positas College, but all along the focus has been a swift return here to Laney College to try to kickstart their season. And as we talked about in the Open, they come in at the bottom of this Pacific Division. They do have games in hand, but they have a lot of work to be done. An early chance here coming for Oakland. Here comes the cross, it's blocked down. And this will just get out of play. And a corner kick upcoming here in the opening minute for Oakland.
The understanding, Josh, with the games in hand is a very important thing because, yes, they still have the opportunity to track down everybody in front of them. Most managers will tell you, though, they'd already rather have the points in the bag as opposed to having to do the work and track all of those teams down. So it's going to take effort, perseverance. What an opportunity for them on national television to get back on track here.
And it will be Chuy Enriquez, Bay Area native, swinging this one in. It was a good ball right to the top of the 6. And Phoenix will clear this away. Asante playing chase. Appeal for handball, but this out of play. Throw in coming for Phoenix.
Also want to see with the suspension that is Max Ornstill, what Rick Schantz decides in terms of preparation it will be for Oakland Roots. Ornstill, of course, sitting for Oakland Roots. Found a nice little home in the number 6 position. And that would give you an idea within the graphical lineup at the start of this game. That can obviously change with Chuy Enriquez. You can already see rotating to the outside. Fisore dropping in underneath. Where does Ariel Mumba fit into this entire equation? A lot of questions to be asked for Oakland Roots, who, to their own minutes, are searching themselves. Try and find the perfect rhythm for this team moving forward.
Jordan Farrell just said to us this week in our chat, just trying to keep things positive. Said we haven't had our best group out there. It's still a work in progress. Players getting back into the fold, the likes of Jose Hernandez. Big to have him back. He earns his 3rd start of the season this evening for the Roots. This will be a throw-in coming now for Oakland. Phoenix trying to run with it quick. Well, it's been a tough run of games for Oakland, winless in their last 8. Only 1 goal scored, that was in the 2-1 loss against Las Vegas. And 2 straight 3-0 losses. We'll see if they can rebound last time out against Orange County. The second time they take on this Phoenix Rising side, but it'll be 2 games here in Oakland this month between these 2 sides. They will be plenty familiar with each other. And as for Phoenix Rising, last time out a 3-1 win over upstart RGV, Mountain Division foe. King, Quinn, and Dadashov, and King was credited with that goal.
Go figure. Somewhere there,
a searching ball.
Someone's smiling upon Darnell King for even what he called on social media, was it a shot or a cross? He wasn't even talking about the deflection.
It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter.
Give it to him. You know, I got to stick with my defenders.
Phoenix, as you can see that run, their last 11 games, just that 1 loss. It was to San Diego, but they are coming off a July where they went unbeaten. Here's Diaz for Oakland. One thing Rick Schantz said about this Oakland side, can't give them long spells of possession. In the early going, they're looking like they want to be the team to knock it around. Now they look to go in behind. Andre Rawls, who gets the start tonight, will let this run out of play. A revolving door there in goal between Rawls and Ben Lunt. Lunt got the start over the weekend, and Rawls gets the start here in the midweek.
What a luxury to have for those two. Andre Rawls and Ben Lunt, and of course on loan from Cincinnati, and Andre Rawls coming over from Colorado Rapids, both with plenty of experience within the USL Championship. Of course, Ben Lunt, goalkeeper of the year in 2020 during his tenure with Louisville City. of course on loan then as well, to go back and forth between those two, and especially considering the fact that their third goalkeeper, who was the start at the beginning of the season, fan favorite and cult hero Zach Lubin, still making his way back from injury.
There's a push on the far side. There'll be another free kick coming for Phoenix Rising. Another look at it.
Solomon Asante with the introduction into the match from Akeem Ward. What a matchup that is going to be. Talked about the outside backs for Oakland Roots coming in. Josh, they're very impressive in the movements going forward, especially Memo Diaz on the right. So Takahashi is another one you can add into the mix. But what does that look like when defensively you have to do so much work? A lot of respect has to be paid to Santi Mowar and Solomon Asante, with the understanding that the addition of David Egbo really introduces another issue into the equation for that back line. I said head on a swivel because of the fact that Egbo, so much speed, but also as he continues to get more reps under his belt at the professional level, has become really good at dropping down into the pocket, chasing defensively, and challenging either the center back that's trying to step through or one of the holding midfielders that's trying to distribute going forward. It's going to be a long night.
Oakland puts it down quickly, and they look to come into the attack. Hernandez leading the break, trying to lay this off for Enriquez, and Tate Schmidt stepped in. Oakland able to keep it. Diaz, his pass blocked down. How quickly now can Phoenix look upfield? Quick passing there in the middle. Sante got a bit turned around. Oakland calmly plays it back to De La Paz in goal. De La Paz, he got the start when these two teams met earlier this season. It was the first game of the year for Oakland Roots. And the big thing coming out of that game, as Jordan Farrell told us, was no gifts. But here comes an attack down the right again. Header at the back post. This out of play was King to get the last touch. And a corner kick coming for Oakland.
Darnell King doesn't like the pressure on the back shoulder, but what a great job by Oakland Roots attacking this on the far post. Beautiful ball lifted in. Good movement coming up. That's Jose Hernandez, former RSL homegrown, just recognizing that he's going to take a knock on the backside, willing to take the pressure, stick it down into the channel, and let one of his boys run onto it.
Another corner kick coming for Oakland, their second of the match. An in-swinger this time to the top of the 6-yard box. The follow-up is out of play. Good chance there off another set piece.
You listen to the lead up to the match with Oakland Roots manager Jordan Farrell. He fancies their chances. Feels like the home opening, get the crowd involved. Remember, this team does know success, just hasn't necessarily found it at the championship level just yet. It's going to take some time. They've had to deal with their fair share of adversity so far, though navigating the troubled waters, really that has been, the roster is a big one. You know, it's very difficult for a team, Josh, within a season in general, yet alone everything they've dealt with. Quality is something that surrounds the Oakland Roots roster. The problem is they haven't gotten a lot of chemistry to be built within that. Great midfielder, the likes of Volfall, finally back on the bench. He's coming back from injury. De La Paz, you talked about, coming back from international duty, and there's a rough challenge.
There's Darnell King sliding in. Conversation now, I'm sure, coming with Ricardo Fierro. And a yellow card issued.
Darnell King working his way through the roster on this tackle. Second touch out in front of him, needed to be better here. Brought down well, but that one right there, too far in proximity to the body. Great step by Ware into the space in front of him, trying to spring to go the other direction. Darnell King knows that that one just got away from him.
We're one of a few players on this roster born and raised right here in Oakland or in the Bay Area. Another long ball over the top. Flag might have come up anyway. This rolls out of play. Here's Musa. If you remember back to that first time these two teams played, Musa had really long assist way over the top. Santi Moar finished it off. Great team goal from Phoenix Rising, as we've seen plenty throughout this season. There's a long throw, and that'll spark an attack. Enriquez puts it in the middle. King able to just clear it away for the moment. Mumba chasing after it. He loses out. Friendly fire on the far side. Ward, who's shaken up. A restart at the back through Farrell. And here's Musa. Farrell looking for that long ball. They'll play it into the middle. Quinn lets this run and now moves it out left for Moar. Santi Moar surveying the scene, getting to the end line, now turning back, getting the cross in. Top of the box was looking for Lambert. It was cleared away. Now Musa trying to drive it back in. Igbo was there. Now it falls for Moar again. Back out wide for King. Loose pass in the middle by Farrell. It's taken away. Clementa stepped in, but then he gave it right back.
Little love tap on the backside. Coming up through the middle. That's too nonchalant from David Egbo. He's got to be smart here. The way that the Oakland Roots are starting to apply their defensive trade. Good little pinch in from the outside mids. Hernandez drifting up a little bit next to Brandon Allen. Fasore helping out in the midfield. Trying to force everything to the outside. And it's interesting, and they're actually coming in a little bit narrow, Josh. Not a lot of teams are willing to concede the exterior space to Phoenix Rising, almost daring them to at this point in time.
Here's Moar trying to play it down that line and put it out of play.
It's one of those be careful what you wish for type situations where say, okay, we're going to stay compact, we're going to compress ourselves to the inside, remove the likes of John Baquero, Aiden Quinn, and Kevin Lambert, with the understanding that, of course, the front three are always so dangerous, but how far are Darnell King and Tate Schmidt willing to take it?
Potential shout for handball. Enriquez trying to get this back. Lambert stepped in. Dangerous back pass. And somehow Phoenix gained possession, and now we'll look to clear this away. Here's Baquero. He'll come down the right side this time. And Darnell King. Baquero up over the top. And De La Paz makes the catch. But that's something Rick Schantz has talked about. He said with the introduction to Tate Schmidt coming in at left back, he says maybe they have a little bit more balance and teams can't really take away one side or the other.
It's a good theory.
Yeah.
It's a very good theory. The thing that Phoenix, to be fair, has struggled with over the course of the season has been the balance on the back line. You know, whether it's working through the progressions of the center backs. Of course, Ryan Flood was a big name talked about at the beginning of the season. Still within the mix at the left back spot. Darnell King is always the one that regularly makes the team sheet at the right back spot. But can you create that balance, both offensively and defensively? The evolution of this team throughout that 2019 record-breaking season really was the offensive defending, where when they played a really high line and moved numbers forward, everybody else followed suit. They struggle with that in 17 and 18. And the rebirth of Phoenix Rising in 17, the rebranding, new ownership group, you saw a high-flying offense, a lot of goals, a lot of tempo, but could that be replicated on the other side of the ball? The answer is now yes, but now can you do it every game with all back four and still be successful defensively?
There is Rick Schantz, of course, 2019 USL Coach of the Year. He's gotten off to a great start in this 2021 campaign. Just about at the midway point, 10-2-2. A win tonight would put them top of the entire league based on points. just tap back. De La Paz having to come off his line and clear this away as far as he could. Farrell will look to bring this out now for Phoenix. The middle again. Morad had to play it back, and now De La Paz clears it.
You like the beard for McShantz?
Yeah, why
Different,
not?
right? It's a different look.
Well, on a brisk night here in Oakland, you gotta keep your face warm, right?
I love it. I think it suits him great.
He's always cash too with the T-shirt.
Well, the T-shirt, it's a switch recently. He's always extremely well dressed.
Sure.
How has he not been nominated for best dressed in the USL Championship yet?
Who would you say is?
Now?
Yeah.
I got to throw Rick into the mix.
Okay. Who would you have said before?
Troy Lessane's always there.
Yes.
He's got some good dressing. I respect that. Man, now you're really making me think. Neil Collins from the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
I was thinking Mark Lowry.
The thing about Mark is I like Mark in the all black from El Paso Locomotive.
Yeah.
He looks great in all black.
Okay.
Had the opportunity to interview him for USL All Access on SiriusXM FC and told him that he was the only coach that I knew that has a sponsorship with a hair product company. Jean-Paul Mitchell. No, but it's in the works. We're working on it together.
Here comes Diaz for Oakland. His cross blocked down. Lambert there to clear it away. Oakland have found some success down this right side. Enriquez and Diaz combining. Here's Quinn. And now Santi Moar. Cutting infield as he so often does. Tried to clip it in, looking for the run of Egbo. King tries to keep it alive unsuccessfully. Now Hernandez and Enriquez. And this played all the way back. Well, since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Played over the top. Rawls was waiting for it at the top of his 18-yard box. The thing that Jordan Farrell said coming in about this Phoenix Rising side is no gifts. He says it's tough enough to deal with their quality. He said they'll have to be on their A game tonight. And he says in these past few games there's been glimpses. They just have not been able to find that final product. As you mentioned, just the one goal in the past handful of games. They found themselves in some dangerous opportunities so far down this right side in the opening 20 minutes.
Think about what they've dealt with the last 4 matches. There's the 0-0 draw at Sacramento Republic. Previously, that was a 3-3 game that was actually had a similar tempo to this, Josh. And we saw it open up. The 2-1 Vegas game where that was a 1-1 match headed towards the 80th minute. They falter down the stretch. Even the Galaxy 3-0 game, that was 1-0 heading towards the 80th minute. Set piece opportunity given up. Set piece opportunity given up against Orange County. That's an area they really need to keep an eye on tonight because, to your point, quit gifting away opportunities to the opposition. They've had a hard enough time right now. With a good start like this, 20 minutes in, at home, put the ball on the deck, continue to make Phoenix Rising chase.
There is a look at Jordan Farrell. So happy to be back home at Laney, saying everyone feels the vacancy of not playing there. Says every piece of our club comes together when they are playing at this field. They say in these parts it's where West Oakland and East Oakland come together. Lambert going to meet Mumba in the middle. That came off of Mumba last, so a throw into Phoenix. 20 minutes gone. Still searching for that first goal. Bo plays this back for Schmidt. Gets it out wide. Asante, look at that first touch. Asante looking to provide that assist on the follow-up. It's out of play. And Darnell King is writhing in pain.
What a ball this is all the way across the field, first and foremost. And then the run down into the channel by Solomon Asante. Plucks this thing out of midair. Touch, top quality. What a beautiful touch from Solomon Asante to allow himself to really pick and choose his poison here, Josh. Cut it back across the 6, find a trailing run, go 1v1 with the goalkeeper. Cause for concern on the backside, though, with the contact on Darnell King. Take a look at the midfield and what has been for Phoenix Rising this season. Obviously one of the most talked about acquisitions was Aiden Quinn. He's the distributor in that situation. Silky smooth left foot up over the top. Still till this day, and you and I have made reference to it a couple of times, one of the best quotes I've heard from a coach this season was Rick Shantz talking about his player Aiden Quinn, not asking him to be the best number 8 that he can be. It's the best number 8 that he can be for Phoenix Rising, and there is a big difference. His ability to stretch the game, really the embodiment of a true midfielder all over the pitch. Offensive, defensive, the creator. You know, the defense-minded player that can get stuck in was asked to do so much for Orange County. It's just a different role here. You'll notice that when he does take chances, they're calculated so that if it does go south, defensively they're set up. The turnovers are going to be 15, 25 yards from goal for Oakland Roots as opposed to the other direction.
Here's Diaz looking in field, deflected cross, and Rawls is able to bring that in. Right at the midway point of this first 45 minutes. With Devin Kerr, I'm Josh Eastern. Oakland Roots, Phoenix Rising. Of course, Oakland Roots' home opener. They are so happy and glad to be back here at Laney College. Phoenix trying to keep hold of that top spot in this Pacific Division and keep growing their lead at the top. And Oakland, with all those games in hand, just trying to work their way up the table. Taking it one game at a time to try to do so. Coming together in the middle. Egbo comes away with it. Asante is up with him. Pass just a bit behind Asante. And there's King flying in. It's been an active first half for Darnell King thus far.
Guess who on the initial challenge in the midfield, though? Kevin Lambert playing a real high line. That's what I talk about, where it's so difficult to track number 27 from Phoenix Rising. So active on the pitch. You see him sitting underneath the triangle with Aiden Quinn and Beccaro in front of him, and then all of a sudden, 20 yards from net, he's getting stuck into a 50-50 ball at the top of the box.
The player down there in the corner is Tarn Weir. And we'll ask for the training staff to come out and tend to him. Weir has been a big part of this team this season. His 10th appearance tonight, 4th start.
There's not much to the overall challenge upon initial review. Just, oh, Solomon Asante, what's the right ankle? There it is. Just gets stuck up underneath him a little bit as Asante tries to whip this ball into the box. Just clips his right foot right as he plants. He's one of those players, Josh, that you didn't hear a lot about previously, but coming in, what a surprise he's been. To be honest, selfishly, wanted to see him paired alongside So yeah, Takahashi, the difference is would say that Akeem Ward overall is the better defender between he and Takahashi, though the relationship cultivated a bit further on that left-hand flank with Tarnweer.
Play back underway, long cross onto the top of Zeus De La Paz's goal.
Just for the record, to circle that entire conversation about best dressed in the USL Championship, I've been
doing some research.
I've been graciously reminded by a coach in the Western Conference that may or may not be Mark Briggs. Maybe he should be involved in that too.
Okay.
Can't argue that.
No?
I fault myself personally. We'll get it right next time though. Apologies to Mark Briggs at Sacramento Republic.
Farrell just nods this back. Couple of shots for both sides thus far. This Phoenix Rising side coming in tops in the league in goals, shots, basically every attacking category it seems like. Have to go all the way back to early last season, the last time they were held off the score sheet. Game at Orange County. Here's Piquero back in the starting lineup. Arturo Rodriguez has kind of slotted into that right midfielder role. King, physical on the far side, wins it back. Now here's Asante. Deflected cross. De La Paz will come out and grab this. The whistle will stop play here for the moment. Another player down. That is Tarnweer again. I wonder if that ankle is still bothering him.
He tweaks something like that. Any little nudge moving forward can really set you off your pivot point. He's trying to pull this ball back, and as he turns, same kind of thing, just a bit of an issue on that right hand pivot coming back through. Take an initial look back at what got him into trouble, and watch the ball come back across as he plants. Boom, double whammy. Right off the toe and planting, just rolls his ankle, and then the second one coming back through. Darnell King Lang chase. Again, it doesn't look like there's a lot to it, but when you've already tweaked it once, any little nudge whatsoever is going to send you over the edge. It seems like that's where Tarnweer is at. They would hate to lose him. As mentioned, what a bright light he's been for Oakland Roots this season so far.
There will be a substitution. There he is. Soya Takahashi earns his 12th appearance on the season, his 4th appearance coming off the bench. The 25-year-old out of Japan will replace now the injured Tarnweer. Here's Quinn trying to move this upfield, and now with that early substitution by Jordan Farrell in Oakland. Oh, this deflects. Moar trying to pick this up. With that early sub now, how does that change things with a midweek game? You have a game on the weekend. You're trying to rotate players in come the second half. Here comes a quick throw in though. Egbo. And now King. Egbo circling back. And he'll play it back for Musa. Phoenix looking for the right time to pounce. Here's Musa, now trying to play it through the middle for Quinn. Farrell. Now Asante picks it up. Trying to play this over that back line. And King was in an offside position. Back to Oakland it goes right at the half-hour mark. August is USL Supporters Month, and we want to hear from you. Visit uslchampionship.com/supporters-month for more information on how you can get involved and have a chance to be featured as the supporter of the week. I believe that's a Marshawn Lynch Raiders jersey there, number 24, who is now a part owner of this Oakland Roots side. It was announced earlier this year, one of Oakland's own. Just a flex in the middle. Good little back heel pass. Will spring the attack. It's Aiden Quinn. We'll play this back. Moar just couldn't get there quick enough. This ball does come out. Throw into Phoenix. Moar. Here's Farrell playing it back out wide. Vaquero. And now King. Vaquero will line up the cross. Trying to pick out Asante. Falls for Egbo. And he slices it out of play. Found just an inkling of space at the top of the box. But out for another goal kick.
Not lacking confidence, is he, David Egbo? Tees this thing up just inside the top of the 18, and just to be able to time it in general and create contact, yet alone put it on frame, really difficult task from the striker. Just a bit outside. What a different option he provides for Phoenix Rising compared to Rufat Dadashov. That's not a slight on either player. Just very, very different. Dadashov pushing the mark of 6'3", big target man, play off of him. Does a lot of dirty work defensively, was magnificent in the game against San Diego Loyal. Maybe not necessarily turning out the same numbers you saw in 2020 that saw 11 goals and 4 assists over 18 appearances, all competitions. Only 4-2 in this year, and that's still not bad through 13 games. 4 goals, 2 assists to his name, but David Egbo, more of an out-and-out striker. You know, you can play into his feet as opposed to playing off of him, and there is a difference. Technically, you've already seen the quality in 33 minutes in that he's got the talent, not only to receive Josh and allow guys to play off of it, but he'll take it himself. He can drop back even further, play in combination play, go 1v1, and as you just saw there, willing to pull the trigger when necessary.
You said the other day when he scored against RGV, Rufat Dadashov, how important that goal was for him, just for his confidence to get back on track. Egbo and him both had the same amount of goals with 4.
Well, the difference is Rufat Dadashov had a slew right at the beginning of the season and has really struggled to find that ever since. And this club, they've been spoiled in a good way. A lot of success at the number 9 position over the past couple of seasons. I mean, think about the names that have come through here. Didier Drogba, let's get that out of the way, the king. Of course, part of the ownership group and the rebranding we saw back in 2017.
Can't really top that, right?
You can't really top that, but we're going to add some names to the mix. Chris Cortez had a fantastic season when the king was still here. You bring in someone like Adam John, and you go to Rufat Dadashov, now David Egbo. To the rich go the spoils. Phoenix Rising, so many different tools at their disposal.
The referee will bring this back. Looks like a free kick will go Phoenix's way. This is something Jordan Farrell talked about, being locked in on set pieces, especially against this Phoenix side. We'll see what Phoenix can conjure up here. With about 10 minutes to go until halftime.
Got to keep your marks, and as we alluded to earlier on in the game, just a couple of mistakes over the past couple of matches, regardless of what has gone on in their movements going forward defensively, been decent, but set piece opportunities. Hold a tight line and hold that mark.
Here's Vaquero to whip this in. Got good depth to it. Lambert. run out of play. It will be a corner kick for Phoenix. This is the first of the match for the away side. Same two suspects will come to the corner flag in Quinn and Beccaro. Looks like it'll be Quinn this time, though, to whip it in. It'll be an in-swinger. Here it comes. Back post. Farrell was there and meeting De La Paz. Big collision in the air. Farrell's so dangerous on those set pieces. Does have a goal this season off a corner. De La Paz back on his feet, thumbs up.
It's well done by the goalkeeper to make himself real big on the back post with the challenge by Joey Farrell. Can't argue Joey Farrell here. There's a little movement on his left arm coming out with his momentum going forward. Does a good job to stay out of most of the danger area there, just colliding with De La Paz on the backside. Never going to be a situation that Joey Farrell's not willing to step into, right?
No kidding.
He can throw his weight around with the best of them. Really admired what he's been able to do to lock down his shirt over the past couple of matches. The rotating door that was the right center back next to James Musa. They've created real quality between the pair. One notable change to the overall team sheet. The acquisition recently of Manuel Madrid. Cruz Azul pedigree for the Mexican center back that has joined the rankings for Phoenix Rising. Can't wait to see him in action.
He is on the bench tonight for Rick Schantz. Said might get him a few minutes tonight. Might potentially see him over the weekend against Las Vegas as he's trying to build fitness back. Farrell will get this back in play for Phoenix. Farrell trying to play through the middle. It's knocked away. Now it's Schmidt. Went to high school just a few miles away from Wild Horse Pass in Chandler. He was able to score on his debut for Phoenix Rising a few weeks back. He's coming over on loan from Real Salt Lake.
Not really a lot of distribution for the striking counterpart to David Egbo and Brandon Allen on the other side for Oakland Roots. Talked about them defensively, how really compressed the interior, making Phoenix Rising play to the outside. Phoenix really just trying to play through the right flank at this point in time. No balance on the left. To your point of Tate Schmidt, how do you find him now? Got to find a way in combination to really lure Oakland Roots out of these spaces. A little pinch up by Hernandez, dropping them into a 4-4-2 defensively. They push Chuy Enriquez up on the right flank as well. So as they flatten it out, there's a I'll tell you what, he's been very, very cautious in his efforts. Got to speed up the tempo, De La Paz. We saw this in their initial matchup going all the way back to the first time. A couple of opportunities, one that ended up in the back of the net. Goalkeeper's got to be quicker in decision making.
No gifts, that's what Jordan Farrell told us coming into this game, and that's now 2 deflected clearances. That's something Rick Schantz has told us. Solomon Asante, his instincts in those situations, so good. That's how he scored that 3rd goal the last time these two teams played. Moar sending this in. He's king of the Ed line, trying to get it back. Asante, Mumba there to clear it away.
That's one of the different looks, though, for Phoenix Rising to be successful in this setup right now, because as the game goes on, you will see changes tactically, of course, but right now, take what's in front of you. And what's in front of Phoenix Rising is that quick little inversion. Santi Moar has seen it a couple of times. Attacking only the right flank. He's just waiting for his opportunity. Applauding the ball coming off the back line just now. Quick little pinch in. You make Oakland Roots react. As he comes to the inside, defenders are automatically going to shift towards him, Josh. That opens up those little dinks to the back post. Most importantly, as he comes, the overlapping space on the left sits there as well. So that's up to Tate Schmidt. Aiden Quinn is really comfortable going into those spots too.
I haven't really called Brandon Allen's name, as you mentioned a few moments ago. There we featured in the Open, such an experienced player in this league. USL champion back in 2016 with New York Red Bulls too.
You're 40 minutes into this match and he's touched the ball 3 times. That's not good. Not good at all. Confidence for your goalkeeper and your 9 has to be ever present. No matter what team, division, or conference you're playing in, you gotta find a way, especially someone like Brandon Allen, to instill some confidence in. He's a streaky player too. You get him on his good side, get him going early, he'll pick you off a couple of goals, and he'll especially create opportunities. He can be very unselfish, find a way to be the target man. Just a second ago, it's good movement up top. You can play into his feet. Although defensively, they've done a good job of keeping themselves constricted. They've really struggled in their movements going forward right now. That is that offensive defending I've talked about for Phoenix Rising, where they come high and they don't leave a lot of space to work with. So that means in those smaller windows, you have to work quicker, and the decision-making, more importantly, has to be top-notch. Jose Hernandez, as he steps up next to Brandon Allen, that creates a void on the inside from a playmaking standpoint. So Ariel Mumba and Fasori right now just struggling to find the balance to move it up to their striking boy up top, Brandon Allen, number 29.
Over the last 2 seasons with Memphis, 34 appearances, 12 goals. Hernandez battling through. Takahashi was making the run up ahead. Now it comes in the middle, it's cleared away. Oakland will keep it in the attacking half. There's a giveaway. Moar, a heavy touch. All the way back for Andre Rawls. Just a couple minutes away from halftime, and just about the midway point of the season. We'll give away some mid-season awards. We'll put our heads together. I know you tweeted something out earlier. You wanted to hear from the people.
I think people misconstrued exactly what I was asking for, though. People started talking about the comeback team. And while I think it's a fantastic award, it is not one involved in our conversation today.
It is not. Those are the awards.
There you go.
Tweet him at Devin Kerr. He wants to hear them.
Coach, goalkeeper, defender, MVP. Can you tease it? Any tease on maybe who's getting one of those? You can pick. Obviously, we've predetermined.
Well, one of them is playing in this game. How about I say that?
Oh,
is that too obvious?
Is a tease. No, not at all. Not at all. And by playing, you mean could be coaching. I mean, I'm just trying to make the depth of that comment a little bit broader. Mess with the fans, right?
He's been on your screen tonight. How about that?
It's even
that cover
better.
all our
Good
bases?
for you. You're learning.
It's a work in progress. Balls for Moar. Is there something in this first half for Phoenix? Scored 3 goals in the first half just last week. Here's Moar forcing De La Paz into a diving save. Corner kick for Phoenix.
That little cut in from Santi Moar told you this is where they are going to have success at this point in time. Moar, the shoulder drop, one of the best in the business. Coming onto the left-hand side, the Spaniard trying to salsa into the upper corner, but what a save by De La Paz.
The in-swinger near post, headed away. Morad there. 2 minutes of stoppage time, and here comes Oakland. Maybe there's something for the men wearing black tonight. King stepped in. Lambert did as well. It's Diaz who's down. And he'll pick himself up. Play continues.
Watch this behind the scenes too, because there's one in Memo Diaz that goes after Lambert, and then a reckless little knock just behind on Santi Moar. It was an arm that came across the Spaniard on the follow through on the challenge. A little surprised that they didn't see the retaliation. Memo Diaz on Kevin Lambert.
Try to see what happened here.
There's a little follow through, friendly fire, and then the swing of the right arm catches Moar. Some kind of strike seconds prior. His ability, changing shape, change of direction, that quick pivot. I'm hard pressed to find another person in the conversation who does it as well as he does. Outside of course, his counterpart, Solomon Asante, on the other side of the field. It's very difficult in the league, top to bottom, that can regularly showcase that skill set.
And of course, last year, he was second on the depth chart for much of the season. Come playoff time, he was moved into the starting lineup. 2 goals, 8 assists for Moar in 2020. And now it's David Egbo who's shaken up. And the referee will just send this to halftime. Egbo is down, but 0-0 here at halftime.
To recap the defensive effort for Oakland Roots of the first half, fantastic. Made themselves very narrow, but compressed the interior and removed some of the strongest attributes for Phoenix Rising and Aiden Quinn, John Baquero, Kevin Lambert. Phoenix Rising have to work from the outside in. Started to get better in the final 5 to 7 minutes. That man right there, Santi Moar, got going. Success will follow them at every area of the field as long as they evenly distribute. Oakland Roots now, they need balance. Find movement going forward. Find Brandon Allen, and you can find a goal.
Well, 45 minutes in the books here at Laney College. It's Oakland Roots' home opener. Stay tuned for halftime. It's 0-0. It's the USL on ESPN. Welcome back to the USL on ESPN. Halftime at Laney College here in Oakland, California. It's the Roots and Phoenix Rising on this Wednesday evening. Well, we're right at the midway point of this USL championship season, so Devin, we put our heads together to come up with mid-season awards. We start with Coach of the Year, Wilmer Cabrera, and RGV.
Easiest one out of all the awards we're going to do, Josh. Listen to the numbers, 2-3-9, 7-4-4. That's the turnaround, currently sitting second in the Mountain Division, only behind El Paso Locomotive. Players, staff, they've done everything from start to finish. Now it's time to finish off the season with a bang.
As for Goalkeeper of the Year, Austin Bolt's Elliot Panico.
This was a little bit closer, right? Jeff Caldwell at Hartford Athletic was right there, but for us, kind of going what he's been able to do under Marcelo Serrano, leading the USL Championship in clean sheets, standout performances. That could be your Goalkeeper of the Year come postseason time.
Defender of the Year, he might be one of the younger ever winners of this award, Jonathan Gomez.
The closest one out of everything. Thought Cronali at Birmingham could deserve a nod, even his compatriot Sean Tosh, center back for Louisville City. But Jogo, the two-way player, how long do you get to see him in the USL Championship? Only time will tell.
And the MVP, we were split on this, and I think we have a good shout both ways. Haji Berry, Solomon Asante.
It's hard, right? I mean, you've definitely got the perennial frontrunner with Solomon Asante on both sides of the ball, what he's been able to do, goals and assists. Haji Berry, for me, takes the cake, Josh, because you remove him, you remove success. You remove Solomon Asante, you remove pieces of greatness. Still have success for Phoenix Rising.
He's such a big leader for that Phoenix Rising side. We're seeing it tonight here for Phoenix. It is halftime from Laney College in Oakland. We'll be back. Second half is on the way. Welcome back to Laney College here in Oakland, California. 0-0 between Oakland Roots and Phoenix Rising. And not a whole lot in that first 45 minutes in terms of attacking play. What do you think we could see come the second 45 minutes?
Balance is a key word that we used a lot there in the first half, Josh, for both teams, to be honest. Phoenix Rising, everything is on the right flank, which is quite peculiar because Solomon Asante has only touched the ball 14 times. So start to work back to the inside, find Lambert, find Aiden Quinn, find Santi Moore because he's having himself a great game so far. Got to find Brandon Allen if you're Oakland Roots. He's only touched the ball 4 times, 3 of which are first-time passes. That's great. But he's got to be in and around the goal. You got to find his feet. You got to work off of him. There wasn't enough of that in the first half.
Well, here are our first half highlights. We start in the 21st minute, and Phoenix once again coming down that right side, but look at that first touch.
Dear Lord, Aiden Quinn, take a bow on the ball, and then Solomon Asante. That's my throne, young man. What a touch by Solo to get in behind Akeem Ward. Beautifully taken, and then the backside of it. Just couldn't pick out anybody in the box. He's looking for Egbo on the trailing run on the 6. Drifts it wide. Turn the heat up. 32nd minute. This is where Phoenix Rising get a little bit interesting. It's those second and third runs coming in support. Interesting that the point man is actually Solomon Asante. Egbo finds the ride-sharing program on the outside of the stadium on his strike way far away. And then just before halftime, who else? How can it not be Santi Moar? That little tuck of the left shoulder, so good. Next level from the Spaniard. Not to be outdone by the man back from international duty, De La Paz. Great save in the upper corner. Could have easily been 1-0 Phoenix Rising.
He always loves cut in on that right foot. First half stats, just that one shot on target. What was that last shot you just saw?
There's nobody playing down the middle of the field, though, right now. I don't think I've ever seen a game for Phoenix Rising where they've been poked and prodded in so many different directions, and it has included the interior. Rich Johnson is going to talk about the control of the field, the control of the play, finding a way to get on the ball more. More importantly, how to stretch Oakland Roots, because when they've gone side to side and done it quickly and quick decisions, they've been decisive in the final third. That was almost non-existent in the opening 45 minutes.
Well, can Oakland get a result in their home opener? Can Phoenix stay on the winning track? Second half is coming up. Getting set for the second 45 minutes of action from Oakland, California. It's Oakland Roots nil, it's Phoenix Rising nil. The teams slowly making their way back out, but great to be back at Laney College. The fans back right here in the heart of Oakland, California. And still no goals to split these two sides through 45 minutes. There was a good chance, though, right at the end of that first half, and might it be Santi Moar, you can see right there in the middle of your picture, to find that breakthrough moment.
One of the key things you have to take away from this graphic is the fact that, yes, he was very hot and dating back to last season. 7 games running with a goal. 8 is the USL Championship record set by Haji Berry, who almost tied it and broken himself this season. More importantly, the last 8 games, only 1 goal to show for it. Still dishing out some assists, but it's that hockey assist, Josh. It's that second and third ball that he's able to come through on. Almost like a decoy at times from Phoenix Rising moving forward. With the addition of Tate Schmidt into it, of course, the balance of Darnell King. You've seen other guys step in to the statistical category that is scoring an assist. That's not a knock on Santi Moar. Of course, Rick Shantz and Phoenix Rising would like him to get back on track in that area.
Well, will they turn to that man? The captain was 1 goal away from 50 in the regular season. There's the whistle. And here we go for the second 45 minutes of action. Laney College here in Oakland, California. The USL on ESPN with Devin Kerr. I'm Josh Eastern. Thanks for staying up late with us if you're on the East Coast. And this is a great time out west. A brisk evening in Oakland, California. Will we get a goal in this second half? As we were just talking about off camera, this game was only 1-0 at halftime. It finished 3-0 the first time these two teams played, but if not for those mistakes, Oakland played this team close.
The difference in that game, Phoenix Rising was playing very well heading into halftime and was a bit unlucky to only be up 1-0. And I said the silver lining in that game, Josh, was they were still in such close proximity to that 1-0 scoreline. The fact that it's 0-0 and they're starting the opening 45.
Here's Quinn! And pushed aside by De La Paz. So starting this second half, much like they finished the first, corner kick Rising.
That's going to bode well for them, but as I mentioned, going into the break and even into the highlights, they gotta find a way to get that man right there. Aiden Quinn going in the buildup. Great step off the back line by Joey Farrell, and then watch his eyes. Not bad for a center back, recognizing, hey, maybe I need to let go of this ball, and how about dishing it off to Aiden Quinn? Good decision.
There's Farrell and De La Paz. Colliding again, that's the second time. Remember, back to the first half. Still becoming friends very quickly. And a long conversation with Ricardo Fierro, tonight's referee. Looks like they're on the same page now. There's Farrell back at the other end to win it for Phoenix. King, a long throw in, and Egbo able to keep it on the turn. Here's Darnell King again. Asante, quick touches here, comes centrally. Here's Quinn again. He's behind his intended target of David Egbo. Hernandez being pestered there by Lambert. And now it falls into the middle. Hernandez trying to get forward. Here's Brandon Allen. Didn't call his name much in that first half. Just a handful of touches through 45 minutes. Now it's Ward. Hernandez scooped away by Lambert. Hernandez trying to look infield again, this time dispossessed by King. Sante hits his own teammate in John Beccaro. They'll try their chances down the right side, Oakland. Here's Fusore. Keem Ward. Quick burst of pace to get by Beccaro. Play it even farther out wide. Takahashi's cross. Dealt with by Lambert. Cleared away by King. Touch to bring that down. Enriquez. Cross will fall for Allen. Now Enriquez takes it. Chuy Enriquez plays it even farther out wide. Trying to find a path to cross this in. Now here comes the cross. Nobody there. Takahashi had vacated that area. Oakland still searching. 5 minutes gone in this second half. Lambert to clean it up again for Phoenix. Quinn, quick ball to play it out wide. It's Schmidt. Now Beccaro will clip this in, looking for the run of Moar. Going to look to clear and look upfield again.
That ball that's just dinked up over the middle. It's a poor decision from Phoenix. Got to get away from that.
Lambert goes down just to the edge of the area. It stays down. Referee says play on. Now 2 players down.
A couple of times now, Josh, they've gone that direction, but as they go, really good job by Emma Clementa and Tarek Morad recognizing that that was the decision coming at them and immediately closing the space down. Smaller bodies trying to get through. Of course, this time it is Lambert trying to break the plane of the back line for the 2 center backs as he steps through. There is contact. I think it's very difficult to shout for a penalty in this situation. There's an outstretched arm. And watch right here. It's really close. It's almost like the little pause that he's already leaning into it. You do see the hip come out a little bit, but he's not exactly stepping into it either.
Right.
Hard pressed to find that point to the spot. Can't make the argument from Kevin Lambert that he didn't pick up a little knock across the face. That's what he's saying right now. Ah, yes. Ye old drop ball.
The uncontested drop ball. There's no contested drop balls anymore.
There's no other kind. Gone are the glory days of just whacking each other in the middle of the field.
It's like a hockey face-off.
Well, there was an unspoken rule of the gentleman's game, if you will. Yeah, this is my ball, this is your ball. That was a wild, wild west back in the day, man.
Tell me more.
You're gonna come dance right here? Saddle up, partner.
Phoenix can just go next door, rawhide from Wild Horse Pass. Here's Hernandez. Takahashi.
Beautiful step by Joey Farrell. Once again, great decision making when he does come off the back line to step into that space. Beautiful tackle and then distributes in another direction.
It's been a fun matchup to watch on this near side of Sante and Ward. 2 experienced players in this league. Now the referee stops play.
Medical attention, someone being waved on for. Looks like Tarek Morad behind the scenes initially. on the little changeover. First one that we've seen go down. This Oakland Roots team, of course, quality start by Tarnwer. The left midfielder position, Takahashi stepping in for him after he clipped his ankle on the far side. Ball whipped across by Solomon Asante. Solomon Asante, by the way, just a little housekeeping here. 93rd regular season appearance, sitting on 49 regular season goals. If, I use that term very lightly at the rate this is going, if he is able to put one in the back of the net tonight, he will become the fastest in USL Championship history to reach 50. That mark currently held by Chandler Hoffman, who did it in 100 matches, though not to be fully outdone by Haji Berry, who did it in carry the one equals 101.
There we go.
Mathematics.
That's an easy one. That was a layup.
I'm doing it. I'm getting there.
As we talked about in the Open, such a big player on the field, but Rick Shantz has told us it's almost a new Solomon Asante this year. He's having to evolve his game, and of course, wears the captain's armband, such a big leader for this Phoenix Rising side.
89 marks in 93 games. That's just rude. Honestly.
That's super impressive.
That's the guy who sits down next to you at a table. You open the menu, see the resume, and just go, I'll see myself out. Dinner's on me.
I'll have what he's having.
Please.
There's Morad making the slow walk off. Already one substitution due to injury tonight for the Oakland Roots. It looks like another sub will come on. So just one substitute is used here. Jordan Farrell will only have one more window to use his final 3 subs. You can see Morad coming off. And it will be Kai Green to come on. The 28-year-old making his 7th appearance last couple of years with San Antonio. Before that, with RGV. Here's Quinn lining one up again. That might have just skimmed off the top of the crossbar. And he's been close now on 2 occasions to start this second half.
There's the ball in the first half to Solomon Asante. Aiden Quinn starting to get a bit selfish, and I don't blame him. When you have this type of quality and you're feeling yourself, especially from distance, Josh, you got to let it rip. A little kiss of death off the woodwork up top. Probably about 4 inches off the mark. Not too shabby.
And I feel like in a game like this, how it's played out, could be a special goal that separates these two sides in the end. Lambert battling forward in the middle, comes away with it as he normally does. And the referee will pull this back, a foul and a free kick to Phoenix. Here's Darnell King. Beccaro. Sorry tries to pick out Brandon Allen and does. He turned around. A big collision. Both players went down here and right into James Musa. Play continues. And now the referee blows his whistle. Evan Lambert committing the foul. I think they wanted that foul earlier.
Take a minute here because James Musa is real slow to get up. That's quality on the backside though as he turns to Brandon Allen. Good sportsmanship between those two, but the challenge between he and Chuy Enriquez coming right through, just losing his footing. James Musa is. And then all the way back through Lambert, professional foul on the inside, knows that he's got to do something to help his team recover.
De La Paz had to be careful again. That hit Asante. That's the third time tonight a clearance has been deflected. I'll go back to Jordan Farrell's comments. No gifts. Getting closer. And you asked him this week about that goalkeeping battle, him and Paul Blanchette, who has made a couple of appearances already this season, 3 starts. That's an interesting battle for both those guys.
Especially for someone like Paul Blanchette, who is at his 5th destination in 6 seasons. That's not a knock on him, just a journeyman at this point in time, coming out of Loyola Marymount with the opportunity within the United States as well as abroad in Finland. You mentioned the time with RGV last season. Of course, New York Cosmos can throw their name into the ring there. Did well for himself, though. Again, it's very difficult to judge Oakland Roots and their overall play at this point in time because of the mitigating factors within the entire situation. Specifically, you take a look at the roster, and we just saw Tarn Weir go off at the beginning of the start of the game, I should say, at the start of the first half. He's been very good for them all season long. The relationship between he and Takahashi, Akeem Ward steps in. Nothing wrong with that. Just a different look. They'll pivot those guys to different sides as well, as Takahashi can play at the right back spot. Chuy Enriquez finally coming back. Ariel Mumba, Fisore, 6 changes into the lineup tonight overall. The goalkeeper, and you've really seen a revolving door within their lineups. It's not their fault. They're searching. They're searching for form, and they're searching for quality because of the fact that they've had to deal with injuries and everything else around them.
I want to get back to Paul Blanchette for a moment. Spent a couple years with Des Moines Menace. And a big shout out to Des Moines Menace, USL League 2 champions. And one of the biggest crowds ever to watch a pro soccer match in Iowa. I've seen Des Moines Menace in the US Open Cup. The crowds that they can create. Great example of local soccer in this country. Played down the line, Moar playing chase, and he will get there ahead of Kai Green. This pass blocked down. Oakland trying to look upfield again. On the way back for Andre Rawls. Haven't had to call his name a whole lot, just those 2 shots for Oakland Roots, and none in this second half yet. Musa will roll this along for Farrell. Sante. Now Beccaro rolls it wide for King. Sliding in was Ward. Throw into Phoenix. Asante just volleys this up to himself. Gets the cross away. Fisore clears it away. Fisore over the top. Musa tracking over, puts this out of play, throwing for Oakland. Comes into the middle. Not sure if that was a pass or a shot. Falls for King. And now rolled out for a goal kick. Well, the USL on ESPN returns to ESPN Deportes when 2 playoff hopefuls meet for the first time. Colorado Springs Switchbacks invade the birthplace of rock and roll to take on Memphis 901 FC Tuesday, August 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Played over the top, it's Solomon Asante. Trying to cut back in field. Egbo at the top, rolls it along, and there it is for Phoenix. It's Aiden Quinn scoring his second goal in as many games. There's the breakthrough for Phoenix Rising.
One of the best players on the field for Phoenix Rising all night long. But as you turn the page and try and find some form on the offensive side of the ball, at this rate, it always had to be Aiden Quinn. Another great step off the back line by Joey Farrell, who finds the streaking Solomon Asante. And check the vision. Multiple options here. Santi Moar doesn't connect, but as it slides through to Egbo, watch this run develop over the left shoulder. The key talking point coming in with Egbo was his ability to drop down in and let the play around him develop. Enter Aiden Quinn in his left foot. So good at picking those key moments at specific spots on the field. He's done so for 60 minutes, and finally, the breakthrough for Phoenix Rising through Aiden Quinn.
Third goal of the season for Quinn. Yeah, smile about that, Aiden. That was another great run of play for Phoenix Rising. And it looks like a couple more subs coming on for Oakland Roots now as they try to chase this game. So it's Jeremy Bokila coming on for Brandon Allen. Fall also coming on. He'll provide some good quality there in the middle. He's battled some injuries this year. There he is. 28-year-old out of Frankfurt, Germany. So 3 subs in total for Jordan Farrell. Fall, Danny Flores, and Jeremy Bokila all coming on. Fasore, Hernandez, and Allen all there to make way. So that's the final substitution window, which is why Jordan Farrell had to make all 3 of those subs. Here's Picaro. King taken off the ball by Ward, who got the last touch. Looks like it'll be a corner kick upcoming for Phoenix as they try to add on to this advantage now. A 6-game unbeaten run for Phoenix. Their last loss on June 19th against San Diego, the lone draw. That's when they went east to face Charlotte Independence. And here's Aiden Quinn, the goal scored tonight. Sending this in, and it's quickly cleared away as far as Darnell King. It's Bokila who went down. Is the referee going into his pocket for a yellow card? It looks like it.
That 6-game unbeaten streak tied for us in the USL Championship coming into the night with El Paso Locomotive, though goals from Diego Luna in the 29th minute. Of course, Phoenix Rising fans will be familiar with the next name, and Jose Aguinaga just before halftime, 2-0 victory to the boys out west over San Antonio. En route to keep pace, at least at this point in time. Watch out.
This knocked along. Santi Moar's in. Heavy touch, and De La Paz clears it away. He was one-on-one. Just that last touch let him down. Now what can Oakland muster up? About 20 minutes to go. Takahashi. Mumba. Here's Akeem Ward, cutting in field, sending this in. Well, that's better from Oakland Roots. It's now Flores. He gets the end line, gets the cross away, was looking for Bokila, and now it's Ward. Akeem Ward will try to get to the end line, taking off the ball, and then commits the foul, bringing Asante down.
Kevin Lambert taking offense to all the beautiful balls we've seen come off the left foot of Aiden Quinn. How about this ball through the back line? Well done, young man. And then a little flick through. David Egbo again. Solomon Asante, not needed. Santi Mowar, uncharacteristically, that ball's usually glued to his foot. Just squeaks away from him on the tail end of it. How about Solo working all the way back defensively, by the way? That's kind of that evolution that you talked about, where I asked Rick Shantz about what it's like in preparation for him, because he's given the luxury to do really whatever he wants, to be fair. But he doesn't always do that. Always tracking back, always helping out. There's a precedent set by him with the passing of the torch that was Didier Drogba to Solomon Asante after the 2018 season. The Prince became the king, never looked back.
And Rick Shantz talks about defending as a team and how it's so important for his wingers to track back. Asante does such a good job of that. As Mowar brought down, free kick Phoenix. And this in a good spot to potentially strike for goal.
This is always a rough one as a defender, Josh, because you're stagnant. Your flat feet are what get you in trouble on it, because you know the pressure is coming, but you've already made your decision to stand your ground and try and get a touch on the ball, so you don't have enough time to react. Santi Mowar takes advantage of it, springs into action with the space in front of him, and you come late back across. Last-ditch effort to get a challenge in. He knows, says thank you very much. No thanks necessary until that ball ends up in the back of the net.
Who are the suspects standing around this? Quinn with the left foot, Asante with the right. And Arturo Rodriguez just onto the field. Asante right into the wall on the follow-up, also blocked down. So that's Arturo Rodriguez coming on for John Beccaro. First sub of the night, another foul will stop play. And Arturo Rodriguez burst onto the scene this season, to be fair. The 2019 USL League One MVP, earning his 11th appearance tonight. Quinn will whip this in. It was a good ball in, looking for Farrell. Falls for Asante. We'll clip it back in. Farrell was still up there. Darnell King. Quinn, and now Mowar. His pass off the mark. He continues on. Chuy Enriquez finding an outlet. Lifted over the top again. Rodriguez tried to play that into the middle. Instead, he lets it roll out for another corner kick. Here comes the in-swinger. Head of the way, Diaz. King settles. Now Asante. Curling this in, back post. Crucial header, but a foul will end the threat. And the USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ plus community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forever-proud. Another whistle, and now the crowd starting to get a bit anxious here. About 16 minutes to go. Oakland chasing that equalizer. A lone goal on the night coming from Aiden Quinn. That coming in the 64th minute. Farrell. Here's Quinn driving forward again. Playing this to the feet of Egbo. Nearly fell for Rodriguez. King trying to keep it alive. Rodriguez chases it down, but he had a heavy touch. Flores blocked out of play. Throw in coming.
Good little step in by Lambert and Oakland Roots. You can see that immediate reaction to start to turn and go with pace. It's getting better from the home squad as this match moves on. Of course, the deficit going to be the main issue, but if you're in a red jersey right now, just find Aiden Quinn. He is having himself some kind of night. Seems like every single time he has the opportunity with the ball at his left foot to pick somebody out, he's doing that and then some.
Rodriguez steps in once more. He's been active since coming on just a few moments ago. Still has that youthful exuberance about him.
It's contagious. That kind of energy, right?
He was doing the grilling at training the other day. On the barbecue, the youngster.
What is BBQ at Best Man's? You're not going to know that reference.
Nope.
Every single.
Right
we got to talk.
head.
If we're going to continue this relationship any further, and we're going to hang out together, you got to start watching more movies. Come on, man. I know what went on before my time. You got to pay respect to your elders. And yes, I'm referencing me to you.
Don't date yourself.
I mean, a movie from the early to mid 2000s is not really dating.
Here's Ward. Takahashi back for Akeem Ward. Still going. Akeem Ward blocked down and out of play. What a run. And out for a corner kick.
This team has the firepower and they can build. Little loss by Rodriguez here as he starts to go. Doesn't catch that change of pace. Fresh legs of the midfielder. Well done on the ball to the outside to continue the run for Ward on the interior. As he pushes through, the seas just part. Good job by Musa in the middle.
There's the corner kick punched away by Rawls. Diaz got him between two red shirts. Right off to that right side and right out of play. Long over the top again. Trying to find the frame of the big hold-up striker, Jeremy Bokila, who did cause Phoenix some trouble when these two teams met a couple months ago.
I like him. I think that he could definitely find success within the USL Championship. Jeremy Bokila, another one with injury. Quality start to the season. Speed for the man from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Plays that target spot. turn on the dime. Really good in the air, of course. Never hurts when you're just over 6'2". But his ability to run at defenders, kind of that Emil Heskey type role that you saw in the Premier League, late 90s, early 2000s, that would just run at people. And Romelu Lukaku is one that people will recognize the reference in modern times. Always willing to obviously play off of each other, but likes the ball out in front of him, challenging defenders in open space. It has been something that Oakland Roots have struggled with over the course of this match. He's finding that real estate to work with.
Rodriguez lifts this in over everybody's head and out of play. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM-FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio. As Bokila comes away with this. Bokila! There was the chance for Oakland Roots. One of the first chances of the match for Jeremy Bokila, the substitute, and he put it right out of play.
Always nice when the recent scouting report shows up right in front of your eyes. And yes, it's a mistake by Phoenix Rising, but watch him work back. Just a little bit of pressure on the back shoulder, and then he goes. Good speed out on the open field. Not the quality Oakland Roots is looking for, but that's why Jordan Farrell brings him on, trying to work his way back. He's not 90 minutes match fit just yet, Josh. But he does have the ability to be the game changer.
And they will need somebody to change their fortunes here in the last 10 minutes. Here's Bokila again. The name Journeyman gets kind of thrown around every now and then, but for Jeremy Bokila, born in Belgium, spent time in Romania, Qatar, China, Russia, Belgium, the Netherlands, Turkey, and now here in the United States. Always on the move.
They've got energy and fresh legs at every level of the field now. Kai Green comes in with the departure of the injury to Tarek Morad. Speaking of which, Santi Moar, a little bit tentative in his movements now. Fall comes in, Denny Flores. Now the number 9 spot replaced, as Brandon Allen didn't really have a lot of opportunities with the lack of distribution into him. Fresh legs in Bokila.
Free kick driven in, quickly cleared away as far as Ward. Moar, late whistle, but a foul. Looks like a couple of subs preparing on that far side. Moar and Egbo making the slow walk off. And it'll be Rufat Dadashov to come on. Here's the free kick. Rawls coming out, punching away as far as Flores. Flores brought down, and here comes the break. The other player to come on was Prince Sadie, number 17 in red. Player down in the box as play continues. Lifted into the back post, headed back centrally. Lambert gets up and clears it away, and then falls back to the turf.
Lambert picks up a knock on the backside of this with the follow-through of the pack just in front of Andre Rawls. And this is probably the biggest difference between Andre Rawls and Ben Loon. Both fantastic goalkeepers. Rawls a little bit more willing to come off his line and throw his weight around. Loon known for his shot-stopping ability, but watch Andre Rawls attack this. That's the commanding presence you want from a goalkeeper. Coming off his line, the recognition that someone's got to step into it. Goalkeeper literally leading by example. Fantastically done by Rawls. Unfortunately, the knock picked up by Lambert in the process.
Do you feel there's a drawback to rotating goalkeepers, seems game in, game out?
Normally, yes.
I guess with these two, maybe not, right?
When you have a squad like Phoenix Rising who make it easier. Now, I want to be very clear here. I'm not saying it's easy.
Yeah.
They make it easier on themselves because of the team unit you have on the defensive front. It does make that transition easier. It also doesn't hurt that you have two high-quality goalkeepers. Ben Lute and Andre Rawls. Of course, Andre Rawls spent time with Orange County on loan in their quality season in 2018. They actually lost to Phoenix Rising in the Western Conference Final. Only gave up 32 goals in 29 appearances, 10 shutouts to his name. Picked up by Colorado Rapids. And ever since has been trying to find a way to break through with that team. Some time alone with Colorado Springs. And now with Phoenix Rising, that man right there, your 2020 goalkeeper of the year in the USL Championship, Ben Lute. Stand out with Akron. National runner-up at the collegiate level in 2018. Losing to Maryland. Hertha Berlin Youth, drafted by FC Cincinnati. Another one who's trying to find his way at the MLS level. But within the USL Championship, neither one has ever really struggled. Quality goalkeepers, Ben Lute and Andre Rawls.
3 Akron Zips on this Phoenix Rising side, and Egbo, Quinn, and Lute. Well, 5 minutes to go. Is there an equalizer or something in this for Oakland? Coming into this game winless in their last 8 and only 1 goal scored over that 8-game stretch. This will be a set-piece opportunity, and everybody's coming forward again.
Bokila is going to be one of the #1 targets here, but where's Emra Clementa? He's very good in the air himself. Big target man coming off the back line. There he is. Back shoulder of Joey Farrell. He's read the scouting report. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and of course, Volfal in the mix.
Here comes the free kick. There is Volfal. Wasn't too far away. Such a long distance, though, to whip that in. It was always going to be a tough attempt at goal.
It's a difficult one for a defender as well, Josh, because whether you're Joey Farrell or Darnell King, whoever's sitting on the backside, you're backtracking on this ball. So you're tracking the ball itself, but then you've got to figure out where the mark is. Volfal reads it almost to perfection, where he just drifts off and then he can go attack the ball.
See the push in the back, a free kick to Phoenix. They will stay on the road ahead of their match at Las Vegas. Cashman Field this upcoming weekend. Oakland roots. They might have one of the tougher away days these days. Going to the Pacific Northwest Mighty Cheney Stadium. Unbeaten in 6 games are Tacoma Defiance at home.
Which normally you would say, said no one ever. But Wade Weber, Tacoma Defiance, Seattle Sounders, everything they've been able to do in general, yet alone the success really at every level this season. The youth academies always have the standouts. It is kind of funny how you see guys on homegrown deals or Tacoma Defiance contracts playing with the 15-year-olds at the youth level, but they are that good. More importantly, the system sets them up that way, Josh. I'm sure the Oakland Roots at their youth level quite some time will find success as well. Phoenix Rising, of course, with their partnership a couple of seasons back. Scottsdale Blackhawks now finding some guys like Niall Dunn, one of the academy players recently signed.
And one of those academy players for Oakland Roots from Project 510, Joseph Rastani, recently signed on July 23rd. As we've talked about, plenty of local talent on this Oakland Roots roster. Final 2 minutes of regular time. Phoenix trying to see this one out. Be a tough earned 3 points. Shui Enriquez. Long cross comes in and over the head of Andre Rawls. He'll see this go out of play, and the clock continues to tick down. Here's a look at Jordan Farrell. He said coming into this game, just trying to keep it all positive. All those games in hand. Is there an opportunity for Oakland to climb the table in the back half of this season? Dadashaw playing hold up. And now it's Asante. Asante just losing out. Look at that pressure from Phoenix, and Oakland able to dribble out just for the moment. More pressure here. De La Paz gets this one away safely. Lambert quick on the ball. And gets it out to that left side. Here comes the cross. And it's scooped up by De La Paz. That buzzer means we're in a stoppage time. 4 minutes to go. There's something special here in the last few minutes for Oakland Roots. Back here at Laney College for the first time in over 500 days. It's been a long time coming. A place that Jordan Farrell says every piece of the club comes together. But you knew coming in things were not going to be easy. Phoenix did find the 1 goal through Aiden Quinn, the 64th minute. His second goal in as many games. Asante moves this ahead. Darnell King. He'll take it to the corner.
Smart. Well done by Darnell King. That's a veteran for you right there. Would have been easy, especially with the numbers in the box for Phoenix Rising, to whip this thing back across. Just steps on it, kill the clock off. An area that for Phoenix Rising on the road. To be fair, it's need to be better. Simple as that. Outside of their 2019 record-breaking season where they pretty much demolished every single statistical category in the book. 2018, they split games on the road, batting right around 500. We compare wins to losses and draws. Of course, the shortened season last year, 3-2-2, not the best.
Asante plays this top of the box. Quinn! Off his chest and wide. De La Paz puts it back into play quickly, 90 seconds to go. Phoenix may be looking for one more. Did go out of play, throw in coming. Into the final minute of play here from Laney College. With 3 points tonight, Phoenix will have the most points in the league. Testing out El Paso Locomotive and Lou City. headed forward. Phoenix Rising 1. Well, that's what it means to get a win on the road for Phoenix Rising tonight. 1-0 victors over Oakland Roots. And it may not have been the prettiest performance overall from Phoenix. Usually they're known for the goals, the shots, all their attack. They got the one goal, and then they defended.
Defended very well, too. Think about this. We talk about Santi Moar. We talk about the goalkeepers. Of course, Solomon Asante. Didn't really give enough credit to Aiden Quinn. He also had a double back in 2018, just like Solomon Asante did. Goals and assists. He's your game winner. Don't sleep on Aiden Quinn. Best player on the field tonight for Phoenix Rising.
There are playmakers all over the field. We look at these full-time highlights. 64th minute. This was the moment that changed the match.
Just watch him drift off, too, because he's already running through the midfield, and as Egbo drops down into the pocket, Santi Moar recognizes that. So he inverts himself. Egbo comes even deeper, provides another option for Solomon Asante, and it's unselfish. For a 9 who didn't have a lot of opportunities, you would expect a striker to pull the trigger here, but he doesn't. He's smart. He recognizes exactly where the run's going to come from. That's from Aiden Quinn. Sticks it in the bottom corner. Phoenix Rising 1-0.
77th minute, you thought, all right, here comes Oakland.
Love the fact that they gave you a glimpse of goodness, not greatness, at every level. That came from your substitutions, right? But most importantly, you get a great run from Ward coming off the back line. Combination of Takahashi, and to continue the run is the most important thing. Could have easily played this ball up, stopped, let Takahashi go alone. Not the case whatsoever. Best opportunity of the night for sure. Unfortunately, Oakland Roots fall just short.
And look at those standings. A 10-point gap with the game in hand for Phoenix Rising.
Game in hand for them, but 2 on a couple teams behind them, 5 on the Oakland Roots. You look around the USL Championship, you talk to coaches. It's Phoenix Rising, El Paso Locomotive in the Western Conference, and everybody else at this point in time. That's the separation for those 2 teams and how good they are.
Well, it was great to finally see Laney College in action. The next USL on ESPN match, Memphis and Colorado Springs on Tuesday. That's going to do it here from Oakland. For producer Sharni Yerke, director Gage Tillotson, Eric Ferlero, Hannah Reyes, broadcast partner Devin Kerr, and our entire crew, I'm Josh Eastern saying so long from Oakland, California. Good night.